If you had to build the perfect NFL wide receiver and you could only take one trait from a player, what would the flawless pass catcher look like?
Unbelievable. And you wonder why I've been calling him the best wide receiver in the NFL.
We previously did a video on building the perfect NFL quarterback using traits from active players. So by taking the 9 most valuable traits in today's best wideouts, we came up with a projection of what the perfect NFL receiver would look like. Let's dive right into it, folks. Speed, Tyreek Hill. Come on, like we were gonna use someone else here. Look, you can't be nicknamed Cheetah if your speed isn't going to be adopted for this exercise. You could just YouTube search Tyreek Hill's highlight reel and get enough of an idea as to why we adopted his speed here. But science and data are also helpful, so allow us to remind you that he had the 3rd, 7th, 9th, and 14th fastest ball carrier plays during the 2023 NFL season, per Next Gen Stats. This included a 22.01 for his 64-yard reception in a game against the New York Giants. In 2023, Hill tied Cleveland Browns wideout Amari Cooper for receptions of 50-plus yards with 5 apiece. Nobody matched Hill's total of 9 receptions of 40-plus yards, nor his league-leading 14 receptions of 30-plus yards. And yes, he was also the league leader in 50-plus yard receptions in 2022 with 4, and tied with Devonte Adams for 40-plus yard receptions at 7 apiece. Hill has averaged 14.1 yards per catch over his first 8 NFL seasons and over 15 yards per catch in 3 seasons. Incredibly, Hill has also had at least 1 catch of 75-plus yards in 5 of his 8 NFL seasons. Many have wondered how Hill would perform without Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball. Well, Hill responded by putting together the 2 best statistical seasons of his career, and the reason why is obvious. Speed. It kills. Even though he's almost a decade into his career now, there is no active pass catcher whose speed we would take over Hill's. His set of wheels is the starting base for building the perfect NFL wide receiver. Hands, Justin Jefferson. The best wide receiver in football doesn't have a weakness in his game, but JJ's hands especially stand out among from just about every other NFL wide receiver. Jefferson's 15 drops over his first 4 NFL seasons may seem like a lot to some, but not when you consider the whopping amount of targets that he's gotten. Jefferson has been targeted 576 times in 60 career games. Only 15 drops. Please, yeah, we will take that number any day. Also, consider this. Only 2 drops on 125 targets in his 2020 rookie season. Only 1 drop on 100 targets in 2023, where he missed 7 games. But you know, sometimes that stat line doesn't do justice. The eye test is all you really need to know to understand as to why we want his hands over any other wide receiver. Jefferson is the modern-day Randy Moss or Calvin Johnson. Just throw it up, even in double or triple coverage, and heck, he'll make a play on it. It is no wonder that the Minnesota Vikings gave JJ that $140 million extension that makes him the highest paid non-quarterback player in league history. Jefferson doesn't have a flaw in his entire game. But if you're only picking one of his traits to build the perfect wide receiver, it's unquestionably the hands. Route running, Devonte Adams. At 6'1" and 215 pounds, the Las Vegas Raiders superstar isn't to be mistaken for guys like Megatron, Randy Moss, or active receivers like Mike Evans. That is, Adams doesn't necessarily have the big body build or physicality to win his one-on-one matchups. Not that he really needs it though. Adams also isn't going to be compared to the likes of Tyreek Hill, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, or Jamar Chase in terms of pure speed, but again, it's not that Adams really needs that speed. The future Hall of Famer's most dangerous trait is his route running tree. Essentially, it's a combination of his brain and slick footwork that makes Adams practically impossible to contain in man coverage. Adams immediately gains separation by quickly faking out his opponents with his hip movement and footwork. They go one way and then he goes another. Newsflash, the opposing defender often goes the wrong way against this guy. Adams jukes at the line of scrimmage, allow him to burn opposing defenders with straight line routes constantly. It's as simple as that. Win at the line, and he's gonna be wide open down the field. We saw it a million times with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, and it certainly hasn't stopped since his arrival in Sin City. But it's also the way that he draws and fakes out defenders in the middle of the field. He isn't the biggest or the fastest receiver, but Adams' route running skills are unmatched by the rest of the NFL. Crossers, slants, verticals, corners, posts, you name it. Adams has aced just about every route in the book, better than absolutely anyone else. Blocking, Brandon Aiyuk. Pittsburgh Steelers icon Hines Ward was the golden standard of blocking for wide receivers during his playing career. Wideouts aren't tasked with blocking as much as tight ends, but it still makes a huge difference if a receiver can ace the yards. And fortunately for the San Francisco 49ers, Brandon Aiyuk has done just that. 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan runs a zone blocking scheme that requires buy-in from his 11 guys on the field. Phew, as if all-pro offensive tackle Trent Williams and tight end George Kittle weren't menacing enough of blockers. Aiyuk also isn't the biggest wideout at 6 feet and 200 pounds, but his strength, willpower, determination, and brains in Shanahan's offense have made him today's golden standard for pass blocking receivers. And on top of blocking, he put up 75 catches for 1,342 yards and 7 touchdowns in 2023. Not too bad. Toe tap, Tyler Lockett. Lockett isn't even the best receiver on his own team. That notion belongs to DK Metcalf. And yet, no wide receiver has mastered toe tap catches better than Tyler Lockett. There's a reason that they call him Tyler Toe Tap, folks. So let's do a quick Tyler Lockett toe tap search on Google, and yep, there it is. You'll find a mountain of jaw-dropping toe tap grabs from the 4-time 1,000-yard receiver. Of course, none finer than the TD snag from Russell Wilson in a 2019 Thursday night game against the Los Angeles Rams. At the time, that was the second most improbable TD grab in the next-gen stats era, with a catch probability of 5.3.
Unbelievable. If you'd have told me that his feet were in play, I'd have said there is no way.
And how about that slick toe tap touchdown in a 2022 home game against the Carolina Panthers when he was wide open in the back but still had to perform some acrobatic moves to haul it in.
I mean, tippy. Look at these. The tips of the toes, boom, drags the foot.
Or that insane grab against the Houston Texans in 2021. There isn't official data or stats on NFL toe tap catch leaders, but Lockett's been doing this for more than a decade. And his library of toe tap receptions speaks for itself. Give us Tyler toe tap over any other receiver regarding this category.
Let's see. 1, 2, I think he got it.
Playing the slot, CeeDee Lamb. Wherever CeeDee Lamb lines up, the Dallas Cowboys superstar always wins. But he's proven to be even more dominant and explosive in the slot, so Mike McCarthy has no reason to move him away from that. When lined up in the slot, Lamb finished with a Pro Football Focus grade of 84.8 in 2021 and 87.0 in 2022. Per PFF, the Oklahoma product was also the NFL's leading slot receiver in 2022 with 972 yards. Lamb's 135 receptions led the NFL in 2023 with his 1,749 yards and 12 TDs also marking career bests. The majority of that production, surprise surprise, came when he was lined up in the slot. For Lamb, it's a combination of his footwork, quick speed, and route running that makes him practically impossible to cover in the slot. No wonder Dak Prescott's stats have reached another level since Lamb's arrival in 2020. Beat the press, A.J. Brown. Press coverage is where the defensive player lines up very close to the receiver at the line of scrimmage, within about a yard or two. Since coming over to the Philadelphia Eagles via trade in 2022, A.J. Brown has asserted himself as the NFL's best at beating press coverage. The advanced data does not lie either. According to next-gen stats, Brown led the NFL in yards per route run in press coverage during the 2022 season at 4.5. And according to Pro Football Focus, Brown caught 84 passes for 1,211 yards and 7 TDs in press coverage during the 2023 season. So think about this. 84 of Brown's 106 catches and all but 245 of his 1,456 receiving yards were in press coverage last season. Need we say any more here? Rack ability, Jamar Chase. If Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the league, then Jamar Chase isn't far behind as the second or third best, so take your pick. Chase is essentially a complete package. He's not big at 6 feet tall and 201 pounds, but he plays bigger than his actual size. His speed, route running abilities, hands, and contested catch skills make Chase practically unstoppable in single coverage. Chase is deadly in open space because of his run after catch ability, also known as yards after catch, but hey, rack or yak, you can't stop the Jamar attack. The least diva, Cooper Kupp. Alright, let's be very honest here. Way too many NFL wide receivers over the years have been me-first players who throw 10% temper tantrums if they don't get their way. Harold Owens, Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham Jr., Des Bryant, Chad Ochocinco, Stephon Diggs. That's just a few guys who come to mind immediately. But if you want the ultimate team player, a wide receiver who doesn't throw any tantrums and focuses solely on football and winning, it's Los Angeles Rams star and Super Bowl 56 MVP Cooper Kupp. Kupp won the Triple Crown of receiving in 2021 en route to a Super Bowl victory and big game MVP honors. And he did it all with gracefulness and class. Also as a feel-good underdog story. He went to a smaller college program at Eastern Washington and it was a third-round pick of the Rams in 2017. Kupp's now wife, Anna, worked full-time in the early stages of their relationship, so that way he could pursue his NFL dream. And hey, look how that turned out. Also, did you see Kupp freak out or show any jealousy when the rookie stalwart Puka Nacua replaced him as the Rams' leading receiver in 2023? Did Kupp get angry when everything went sideways for LA in their championship-defending 2022 season? No. So, if you want a superstar wideout who is all business and no drama, Kupp is the model example for you. But hey, what changes would you make to our project of building the perfect NFL wide receiver? Was there any trait that we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, well, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.